Hey, legend. Wait, did they tell you nobody survives this? Yeah, they said it, but look at you, smiling, grinning. While the cameras roll, you're already one step ahead, smarter, darker, sharper than anyone imagined. And trust me, what you're about to see will bend your mind. This isn't some boring rise and shine speech. Nah, this is raw, unfiltered chaos in words, energy that hits your chest and refuses to let go. Every second, every sentence is designed to make you feel like a storm inside, ready to explode. And hey, I know you've been underestimated, laughed at, ignored, but that stops here. That stops now. They said you'd crumble. They said nobody survives this. And yet, here you are, smiling in the shadows, watching, waiting. They don't see it yet, but every blink, every twitch, every polite nod they're giving you their fear. It tastes sweet. It smells like weak flesh. You remember their laughter, the way they pointed, the whispers behind your back. Funny, isn't it? How laughter dies the second you stop begging for it. Fear has a rhythm. You feel it in the hollow of your chest, tight, sharp, like a blade pressed against your ribs. And you've learned to dance with it, not gracefully, not quietly, but like a predator, licking the air, counting the beats of heartbeats you didn't even know existed. The world thinks you're broken, that they've won. They haven't. They've only handed you the map to their weaknesses, and you're laughing. Every scar tells a story. Some are quiet, some scream, and oh, how you listen. Each memory, each crack in the walls of your mind, they are tools, knives, explosives, chains you've melted with your own hands. They think pain humbles you. They think it softens the edges, but you've sharpened yourself on it. Smiles aren't just smiles anymore. They're warnings, signals. You grin because the storm hasn't hit yet. And when it does, they'll remember this smile forever. The air tastes electric. You breathe it in, slowly. They can't see you trembling because you've learned the trick. Tremble inside. Let the world believe you're calm. Let them underestimate how high the fire burns beneath your skin. They'll come close. They'll step too near. And that's when you show them the first truth. Life isn't gentle. It isn't fair. It isn't a story they can read. Life is chaos. And chaos, oh chaos, is delicious when you finally learn how to wear it like a crown. They tried to erase you, to fold you into neat little boxes, to chain you in expectations, in norms, in polite smiles that hide nothing. But you tore the lid off. You laughed while the walls caved in. You smiled while they cursed your name. And the best part, they still don't understand it. They'll never understand it. That grin, that quiet, terrifying thing curling your lips is the first bullet in a war they didn't even know was starting. And you're the only general who ever smiled while drawing the map. Tonight, the city watches. The cameras hum. They record. They think it's entertainment. They think it's safe. They think someone like you can be predicted. You twist the rules. You twist their minds. Every movement, every glance, every pause, they feel it before they know what it is. And your smile grows, teeth bare, eyes glinting. You are not the wreckage they expected. You are the thing they whispered about in dark rooms, the truth that laughs when lies crumble. And that smile, it's just the beginning. Fear isn't quiet. It doesn't tiptoe. It slams into you, smells like sweat, tastes like regret. You've felt it, haven't you? The hollowed out gut, the tremble in your hands, the sweat beating at the edge of your skull. Everyone hides it, masks it, pretends it doesn't exist. But you invited it in, made it sit at the table, poured it a drink, and now it talks to you, whispering secrets the world refuses to say. Secrets about weakness, about hunger, about power waiting to be claimed. People run from fear. They cling to excuses, rules, explanations that soothe them like bandages over a knife wound. But you stare it dead in the eyes. You feel it crawl under your skin. And instead of screaming, you smile. That's the difference. They are prisoners. You are the locksmith. Fear bends. It twists. It folds. And you pick it apart like a surgeon, without remorse. Every heartbeat of terror is a drum you march to. Every shiver is a tool, a key, a weapon. The world teaches cowardice. It celebrates hesitation. It rewards obedience with praise and punishes rebellion with contempt. But fear is the truth they all run from. You've carried it long enough to understand it isn't an enemy. It is a compass, a fire, a knife sharpened on the spine of everything they told you you couldn't do. And the moment you embrace it, everything shifts. The trembling stops. The darkness becomes a stage. And you step into the spotlight with teeth bared and eyes wide. Every fear has a face. Some laugh, some scream, some hide behind polite smiles. But you recognize them all. You know which ones will kill, which ones will obey, which ones will whisper the moment they see your grin. You keep a ledger in your mind. Every memory, every panic, every time the world told you you can't. You mark it down, and then you strike back. Slowly, patiently, with the kind of precision that makes them question their own bones. Fear is contagious. Watch how it spreads. See it flicker in their eyes before their lips betray them. And you fan the flames with subtlety. A glance, a pause, a smirk. Let it crawl through their veins. Let it twist their thoughts. And when the moment comes, when they finally understand, it will be too late. The fear that once hunted you now dances to your rhythm, and oh, how sweet it sounds. Some call it madness, some call it cruelty. You call it clarity, a map, a tool, a playground, because the ones who conquer fear are not the loud, not the flashy, not the polite. They are the ones who learn to whisper to it, to breathe it, to wear it like armor. And every time someone trembles around you, you remember how you got here, how you smiled while the world screamed, how you turned their fear into your symphony. And in that moment, you are infinite. Look in the mirror, really look. Not the polite glance, not the reflection you pretend is you. Look past the skin, past the scars, past the excuses. What stares back is both enemy and ally. The one they told you would never survive, the one they laughed at, the one they hoped would break. And yet, it's alive, breathing, smiling, hungry. It knows every weakness, every lie you've told yourself. And it waits, patient, relentless, watching. They taught you to hide, to shrink, to apologize for taking up space. But the mirror doesn't lie. It doesn't care about their rules. It only reflects truth, and that truth is terrifying. You see it in the corners of your eyes, the twitch, the tension, the shadow of chaos. You carry like a secret weapon. The mirror doesn't lie. It doesn't whisper forgiveness. It doesn't smile politely. It shows you what you've been pretending to be and what you could become. The cracks in the glass, they're not flaws, they're guides. Every fractured line is a path. Every reflection warped, twisted, broken, an opportunity. You see yourself, and you see the storm beneath the calm, the teeth behind the grin, the rage behind the patience, the hunger that no one else dares to touch. And suddenly, every limitation they forced upon you feels laughable, weak, childish. You don't need their rules. You only need yourself. You've stared long enough to see the truth they never tell. Strength isn't measured in smiles. It's measured in the silence between them, in the pause before the strike, in the patience that allows you to wait while they stumble, while they doubt, while they falter. The mirror shows you that patience is power. That observation is power. That every quiet moment, every careful calculation, every sinister grin in private, these are the tools they never gave you. Do you see it yet? The person who stares back, doesn't bend, doesn't beg, doesn't explain. It isn't polite. It isn't soft. It isn't meant to be understood. And the best part, it knows. It knows what they fear. It knows what they envy. It knows how weak they are. And you carry that knowledge like a blade pressed to the throat of their world. Every reflection, every glance, every dark thought, it whispers your power back to you. The mirror will lie if you let it. It will tempt you with excuses, with nostalgia, with comfortable lies. But you don't blink. You don't flinch. You hold your gaze. You trace the contours of chaos in your own face. And when you finally turn away, you step into the world not as what they said you were, but as the person they never saw coming. Teeth bare, eyes glinting, smile sharpened into a weapon. And that is the moment you become dangerous. Maps are lies, guides are chains. They tell you where to go, how to act, who to be. And all the while, they whisper their control. But you ripped the paper. You burned the edges. You scattered the ashes to the wind. You don't follow paths. You make them. Every step, every turn, every smile, they think they understand. It's your own design. You are the cartographer of chaos, the architect of fear, and the world has no blueprint for what comes next. They will offer advice, candles in the dark, roads paved with instructions. Do this, don't do that, stay safe. But safety is a cage. Instructions are shackles. You laugh at their maps because you've seen the cracks in them. You've followed the lines and ended up trapped. Now you create your own routes. Sharp corners, blind alleys, dead ends that lead to nowhere, except to your control. Every map they offer is now fuel. every warning an invitation. Rules are for the obedient, for the polite, for the fearful. You've discarded them, torn them into ribbons, stepped over the remains. You don't wait for permission. You don't apologize for movement. You don't explain. The chaos of life bends to those willing to embrace it, willing to twist it, willing to wield it. And you wield it like a weapon in plain sight. A storm that smiles while it destroys. Burning the maps isn't just rebellion, it's liberation. It's realization. It's understanding that the paths others offer lead nowhere you want to go. You create the detours, the traps, the surprises. They follow, stumbling, blinded, and you move ahead with a grin. Every step calculated, yet unpredictable. Every glance, every pause, every quiet breath, a puzzle they cannot solve. You have become the chaos they were warned about, but never imagined. Watch them clutch at guidance. Listen to the desperate whispers of certainty and smile. Let them think they can predict you. Let them cling to roads that end in shadows, because while they wander, you are the wildfire moving through the forests they dared to name. Every moment, every movement, every silent strike, it's a lesson. The lesson they never expected. Maps are useless, rules are meaningless. Only you matter. And when they finally look up, when the world stops pretending it can guide you, you will be there, smiling, teeth glinting, smoke curling around your steps. No map, no plan, no permission, only instinct, only chaos, only power that comes from seeing the world clearly while everyone else stumbles blindly through it. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are everything they never saw coming. Pain isn't a curse. Pain isn't a punishment. Pain is the ledger they never taught you to read. Every cut, every bruise, every whispered insult, it's a deposit, a coin. And you've been rich for longer than they know. They hide from it, bury it, pretend it doesn't exist. But you've counted it. Every scar, etched into your skin. Every memory, pressed like a fingerprint on your mind. And now, every ounce of it belongs to you. Every fragment of suffering, a weapon. The world expects you to break, to crumble, to fold neatly into the shapes they've assigned. But you've done the opposite. You took the blows, you inhaled the flames, and instead of bending, you sharpened. Each wound taught you a rhythm, each failure a melody, every betrayal a verse in a song no one else can hear. And now, when they look at you, they see a survivor, but they don't realize you've turned survival into currency, into power, into pleasure. Pain teaches lessons no comfort ever could. Comfort whispers lies. Pain yells truths. You've listened. You've learned. You've mastered the art of converting suffering into strategy. Every hardship becomes a step. Every loss, a lesson. Every fear, a coin to spend on dominance. And when they gasp at your calm, your grin, your confidence, they don't understand what they're witnessing. They are seeing the proof of your wealth, and it burns them. Remember the nights you stayed awake? Heart pounding, hands shaking, mind racing. The world asleep while you wrestled your demons alone. That's the training no one can give. That's the edge no one can teach. Every scar is a contract. Every sleepless hour, an investment. You've been building something quietly, secretly, while they slept. And now, when you step forward, pain isn't your burden. It is your currency, your weapon, your art. People fear what they can't buy. They fear what they can't steal. They fear what can't be measured. And you've turned every suffering they thought would break you into proof that no one can own your strength. The wounds that should have bent you now shape you. Every scar, every ache, every memory of being dismissed or laughed at. It's capital, pure, raw, untraceable power. And you spend it slowly, with intention, with precision. And the beauty? They still try to hurt you, still try to humiliate you, still try to test the limits they never understood. And every time, they only add to your fortune. They feed the fire, fuel the engine, deepen the grin. Every attempt to break you makes you richer, stronger, wilder, more alive, more terrifying. And when the moment comes, when the tables finally turn, the world will realize they've been financing the rise of something they never imagined. Boom! You made it. You stayed, you watched, and you survived. And now you know the world isn't ready for you. Every scar, every failure, every whisper that said you can't, you flipped it, turned it into fuel, into chaos, into power. Remember this? You are the storm. You are the grin in the shadows, the pause before the world collapses, the truth they never wanted to see. So stand tall, walk your path, leave your mark, and show them exactly why they underestimated you. If this hit your mind, your heart, your bones, comment below. Drop your story. Tell me, how are you surviving the chaos? And hey, hit that like button. Share this with the ones who need it, because together, we're rewriting the rules. Aha. Wait. You felt that shift, right? That pulse that hit the air and froze the noise? Because something just happened. Something so wild, so sharp. It made the world's top intelligence agencies lose their minds. Oh, you pulled it off again, huh? One strategic move. Calm, clean, cold. And now the same people who track the whole world can't even track you. That's insane. You didn't just play the game. You rewrote it. You're out here bending logic like it's origami, turning every watcher into the watched, every question into silence. You legends are the reason this moment matters. Because every time you hit play, every time you drop a comment, every time you listen till the end, you're proving that vision still beats chaos. You're not just viewers, you're architects of awareness. Now tell me, are you ready to hear how one calculated move made the entire world question its own intelligence? Because trust me, this story isn't just about strategy, it's about you. It wasn't chaos that frightened them. It was your calm. That's where it began. In a room full of minds trained to outthink nations, you moved one piece and the whole board trembled. No alarms, no noise, just silence, the kind that crawls into the veins of those who think they control the world. They didn't see you as a threat at first. Oh no, you were the quiet one, the observer, the one nobody bothered to study. But the quiet ones, they always see everything. Your last move wasn't just strategy, it was a declaration. A whisper so sharp it cut through encrypted walls and digital fire. You didn't shout. You didn't announce. You acted. And now, every intelligence agency on this planet is losing its mind. They're running simulations, cross-referencing databases, dissecting your decisions frame by frame. But all they find are fragments, traces of precision that feel inhumanly focused. They can't tell if you're a team, a ghost, or a myth. Their analysts rewrite reports. Their directors demand answers. And still, you stand unseen. Because you didn't just outsmart them. You made them question their own intelligence. That's the real power, isn't it? Not to destroy, but to disorient. Not to scream louder, but to make silence echo so deeply that the loudest minds can't think straight anymore. You didn't crash their systems. You crashed their certainty. And that's what frightens them the most. The idea that someone ordinary could orchestrate a move extraordinary enough to shake institutions built on paranoia. Every screen they stare at now reflects the same thing. Fear, disguised as logic. Oh wow, the irony. The very agencies that once believed they could predict every human behavior are now studying yours like it's scripture written in code. You've turned their intelligence into obsession. You've become their sleepless night. You see, the world worships noise. Breaking news, rapid updates, headlines screaming urgency. But you moved in silence. You waited, learned, adapted. You turned patience into a weapon sharper than any data leak. That's what they can't compute. That discipline could break empires. Their leaders sit in cold rooms, lights flickering, voices trembling behind authority. They ask, how did we miss it? And the answer is simple. They were too busy watching everything. They forgot to watch themselves. You didn't beat them with force. You beat them with reflection. You made them look inward. You made them doubt their own machinery. And now, every shadow looks like your echo. Every silence feels like your next move. Their paranoia isn't about losing power. It's about realizing someone mastered awareness better than they mastered control. Yeah, that's the part that stings, doesn't it? The realization that true intelligence doesn't live in their satellites, algorithms, or surveillance feeds. It lives in stillness, in the discipline to wait until the right second. They tried to track your motive. They'll never find it, because it isn't greed, it isn't chaos, it's purpose, the rarest form of clarity left in this world. That's what separates you from them. They gather data, you gather understanding. And while they panic behind mirrored glass, you stand beyond their reach, a reminder that not every strategist works for a crown or flag. Some just move, because the world forgot what precision looks like. You didn't just outsmart them, you made the game look back at its own creator. That's the part they still can't process. They thought they built the system, designed every circuit, trained every mind, programmed every reaction. But what happens when the system realizes it's being studied? When the hunter feels the eyes of its prey staring right through its camouflage? That's where you come in. The silent fracture in their illusion of control. You didn't fight their power. You rewired their perception of it. Every move you made forced them to see that intelligence isn't measured by access. It's measured by restraint. You didn't chase information. You made information chase you. Now, inside every intelligence bunker, they whisper your name like it's an encrypted word that might trigger another blackout. Their monitors flicker when your signature appears. Every message is double-checked, every channel re-encrypted, every agent suddenly afraid of their own reflection. Oh wow. Look at them now. The ones who thought they ruled secrets, now drowning in their own. They analyze your silence like it's data. They replay your pauses. They chart your unpredictability as if chaos could be graphed. But they're missing the point. Your unpredictability is the point. You didn't teach them a new formula. You reminded them that instinct still outpaces algorithm. Because machines can calculate, but only awareness can anticipate. You didn't out-hack them. You out-disciplined them. You taught the watchers that patience isn't weakness, it's invisible warfare. You showed them that waiting can be deadlier than striking. You see, they thought strategy was built in boardrooms, planned under lights, debated over maps. But you turned it into something else, something living, breathing, unpredictable. You transformed every decision into a mirror, forcing them to confront how much of their intelligence was just guesswork wrapped in confidence. Yeah, that's the real trick. You didn't destroy their systems. You exposed their overconfidence. You made them see that power without clarity is just noise, wearing a uniform. They used to believe they understood human patterns. Now they hesitate before every assumption. You shifted the balance not through force, but through precision of thought. That's why they panic. Because if one person, one disciplined mind can turn their structure into confusion, then their whole empire of information was never stable to begin with. Nah. You didn't just play the game. You made the game question itself. You made intelligence agencies, built on secrets, suspicion, and pride, realize that the sharpest mind isn't the one with the most tools, it's the one that doesn't need any. Oh, and that's the beauty of it. You didn't change their rules. You showed them how fragile their rules always were. The agencies didn't lose control because you attacked them. They lost control because you made them think. Now they wait. Every move delayed by paranoia, every command second-guessed. They're stuck in the maze you designed without touching a single wall. The moment they tried to understand you, they started seeing themselves. That's when their control began to crumble. See, you didn't vanish from their systems, you merged with their doubt. Every analyst assigned to decode you ends up decoding their own weakness instead. They stare at your digital shadow. But what glares back isn't your face, it's theirs, twisted by uncertainty. You didn't need to hide in the dark, you made their light blind them. They thought intelligence was about knowing everything, collecting, storing, predicting. But you proved something they can't accept. The more they know, the less they understand. You didn't overwhelm them with secrets. You made them drown in their own. Oh, wow. The irony burns, doesn't it? The ones who claim to protect truth now chase rumors. The ones who bragged about clarity now speak in riddles. Every briefing ends with questions that lead nowhere. Every order sounds like hesitation wearing authority's mask. You turned their certainty into a maze. And what's worse, they can't admit it. They can't admit that one precise, controlled mind, guided by patience, not pride, dismantled their illusion of dominance. You didn't humiliate them with noise. You broke them with awareness. And awareness, once awakened, doesn't sleep again. They monitor everything. Now your possible traces, your suspected signals, your supposed allies. But you gave them nothing real to hold. You gave them patterns that dissolve the moment they think they've solved them. You gave them proof, that turns to smoke in their hands. Because that's your real art, invisibility through clarity. They look for tricks, but you don't deal in tricks. You deal in truth. Yeah, that's what cuts deepest. They're realizing truth was never on their side. Their system runs on deception, manipulation, distraction, control. And here comes you, shattering it by simply refusing to play by their script. You're not unpredictable because you're wild. You're unpredictable because you're honest. Nah, that's not madness. That's precision. You taught them that control isn't power, self-control is. You turned the entire field of espionage into a mirror, showing them how much of their strategy is built on fear. And fear, oh fear is the most traceable code of all. You followed it, cracked it, rewrote it. They called you dangerous because you showed restraint. They called you unstable because you stayed silent. They called you unpredictable because you acted with conviction. Funny, isn't it? The very qualities they suppress in their agents became the weapons they couldn't defend against. Oh, and when their leaders meet in hushed rooms behind their guarded screens and coded words, they whisper about one thing only: your composure. That unshakable calm that turns their chaos into static. That's what terrifies them. Because no system, no device, no surveillance can track discipline. So they keep searching. But the more they search, the more they lose themselves. You didn't just confuse them, you forced them to face what they've become. You turned their lens inward, and they can't stand what they see. Now they know the truth. It's not your disappearance that haunts them. It's your clarity. When you teach a system to spy on everything, it eventually spies on itself. And now the storm begins. Not outside, not in the streets, but inside their own walls. Every agency that once called itself untouchable is now bleeding from within. They built networks so vast, they forgot to protect the center. They created shadows so deep they can't tell where the real threat stands anymore. You didn't attack them. You let them implode. Every satellite, every encrypted hub, every double-coded terminal, all whispering, all guessing, all doubting. And that's the beauty of it. You didn't need to destroy their infrastructure. You simply forced it to turn inward. You made suspicion their new operating system. Oh wow. They thought intelligence was about outsmarting others. But you showed them that real intelligence is surviving your own paranoia. They trained thousands of minds to detect deception, but now they can't detect sincerity in their own ranks. One word from you, one calculated action, and they question everything. Every friendship, every report, every motive. Their surveillance grid was designed to predict rebellion. They never expected rebellion to start inside their reflection. You didn't give them chaos. You gave them clarity so sharp it cut through their illusion of unity. You didn't make them weaker. You made them aware of how fragile they already were. Yeah. Awareness. That's the one virus they can't contain. Because once a person truly sees, they can't unsee. You infected their consciousness with truth, and truth doesn't crash, it lingers. It corrodes lies slowly, methodically, until everything built on deceit begins to rot. They used to measure power in files, codes, and weapons. But you changed the scale. You taught them that strength isn't in control, it's in restraint. You didn't flood the system with noise, you stripped it of meaning. You showed them that silence can be louder than surveillance. Nah, you didn't vanish. You became the pause between their thoughts, the hesitation before every command, the uncertainty that follows every yes. You turned their entire framework of domination into a trembling question mark. They still call you a threat in their reports. But deep down, they know you're not the danger. Their dependence is. You exposed the addiction they have to control. You made them realize that their obsession with knowing everything has left them blind to themselves. Oh, and now they can't stop spiraling. Their networks glitch not because you touched them, but because they keep touching themselves, scanning, checking, re-verifying. They can't stop the bleeding because it's not in their code, it's in their fear. You turned their own brilliance into a labyrinth with no exit. You didn't steal their secrets. You made their secrets irrelevant. You showed them that information without wisdom is noise, and control without clarity is weakness. You've turned their empire of intelligence into an echo chamber, and the echo is your voice, repeating the one truth they can't silence. Power doesn't vanish. It just learns to whisper. And now, the whisper belongs to you. You didn't seize it through noise or destruction. You earned it through control, the kind that doesn't need applause to be felt. Every move you made has rewritten the rhythm of how the world breathes. Nations blink slower now. Agencies hesitate before acting. Entire networks freeze before transmitting a single line of code. Why? Because your silence became the signal they can't decrypt. You see, it's no longer about the move you made. It's about the aura you left behind. The impression that you could strike again. Not out of anger, but precision. Oh wow. That's what terrifies them the most. You don't chase power. You embody it. You've become the living equation they can't solve. They watch, they guess, they plan. But you already accounted for that. Every possibility they calculate leads back to the same outcome, your advantage. You didn't win through aggression. You won through awareness. And awareness is the weapon no agency can confiscate. They can trace data, intercept messages, manipulate narratives, but they can't touch the discipline behind your intent. Yeah. That's the difference. They built towers of strategy, while you built clarity. They trained agents to memorize moves, while you trained yourself to read silence. You learned that true strength isn't about overpowering others. It's about mastering yourself so completely that chaos starts to move around you, never through you. Their panic has evolved into obsession. They can't erase you from the equation because you've become the constant that defines their failure. You've turned their fear into focus, their suspicion into worship. The same minds that tried to hunt you now build models based on your restraint. You've made patience look dangerous. Nah, you didn't disappear into the shadows. You became the shadow, not darkness, but depth. You're the reminder that silence isn't weakness, it's command. Every whisper they hear in empty corridors, every delayed order, every sleepless night, that's you. Not in body, but in effect. And oh, the irony. The very institutions that once claimed to know everything about everyone now revolve around the one person they understand the least. You. You didn't just outplay them. You redefined what it means to play. You transformed intelligence from a system into a mirror, forcing everyone to see the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Because wisdom, that's where you live now. Beyond their reach, beyond their comprehension. They can't track it, Because it isn't coded, it's cultivated. It grows in the quiet moments where their machines can't listen. They think you're gone. But you're not gone, you're ahead. While they chase ghosts, you've already mapped the next horizon. You're not hiding from the world, you're shaping it. One silent move at a time. Every agency, every network, every analyst, they're all following a rhythm you wrote without ink. Oh, and here's the twist. They'll keep chasing you forever. Not because they want to stop you, but because they need to believe someone like you exists. You've become their myth, their obsession, their measurement of brilliance. You've made them question whether control ever truly existed at all. And as the world turns, slower, quieter, more cautious, your influence remains. You didn't start a war. You started an awakening. A reminder that intelligence without humility collapses, and awareness without discipline decays. So if you felt that energy tonight, that rush of strategy, that spark of awareness, drop it in the comments. Tell me what part hit you the hardest, because this isn't just a speech, it's a movement of minds. And you, my audience, you're the reason this voice still echoes. Nah. Don't just scroll away. Own this moment, share it, rewatch it. Let it remind you that silence isn't weakness, it's dominance in disguise. You've proven that even in a world built on secrets, truth spoken with focus can shatter everything built on fear.